The fifth day of search and recovery operations in Ladysmith concluded. KwaZulu-Natal police put the death toll at 18. 4 people are still missing. The police team will continue its search and recovery into the weekend. Newzroom Afrika's Karinda Jagmohan joins us now for an update. Karinda, a very good evening to you.
Indeed, good evening to you. Well, like you mentioned, the death toll now officially stands at 18. According to the SAPS team on the ground, the search and rescue police team has been leading and coordinating that 60-member search and recovery team that has been set up in Ladysmith for the past 2 days. I'll take you back to the night of Christmas Eve when that flash flood hit. In the immediate aftermath, there was a very small team on the ground, and now we understand more about how those recovery operations was undertaken. There was, because of such a small team at that time, only about 6 bodies were recovered on Christmas Day. Later on, the next 2 days, there were no recoveries made because of the severe weather conditions that essentially saw torrential rain still pelting down on that floodplain in Ladysmith. However, over yesterday and today, so it's day 5 of the search today, the recovery team saw more bodies being found, and this ultimately brought closure to some families who were in Ladysmith watching these operations continue, even joining the operations as well. The Malaton and Msimang families have finally found some closure as all of their missing loved ones, or the bodies of their missing loved ones, have been recovered, and now they will prepare for funeral arrangements. Earlier today, we spoke to one of the Msimang family representatives who said now the family will return home near Ladysmith, and they will hold a prayer and then consult with the elders in the family with regards to how the funeral preparations should be undertaken. However, the Mtembu family is still missing their loved ones. And you'll see the death toll now surprisingly at 18, when originally, with 4 missing, when originally the initial death toll was 15, with 3 missing, presumably having passed away. But as we spoke to the SAPS team on the ground, they said that more families are filing formal missing complaints with the police now, missing person complaints. And so this is really adding now to the list of people that have gone missing. There's quite a large contingent on the ground now. We spoke to Captain Dave Steyn from the SAPS Search and Rescue Team. He led the operations back in April 2022 during that massive flood across northern parts of KwaZulu-Natal, and he explained to us how the current Operation Command site is working. Take a listen.
We have 20 SAP members, from police divers to canine search and rescue to diver support, that are here. We have 14 members from the SASA volunteer rescue community, which have come all the way from Gauteng, the Free State, the KZN component, and Mpumalanga. We also had the RPSS medical rescue that were on site here. We've also had the local fire and rescue services and the protection services here, with the KZN ambulance service, the EMS. We've had a large contingent of about 15 people from working on fire that have also assisted with the floodplains after the water has regressed, that are now searching on the floodplain banks to check for outstanding recoveries, etc. Going forward, we'll be here up until about the 31st or the 1st to try and confirm that all the recoveries that have been reported missing have now been located and have been found and accounted for.
Now, the Operations Command site, like you mentioned, will be opened until the 31st of December, so until Sunday, and ultimately those police teams will have to go back to the festive season safety plan in their specific home police stations so that they can continue with those plans on the 1st of January, when we expect an influx or quite a big movement of traffic around various areas of the province. And then next week they will resume the search operations in Ladysmith. So this will be ultimately to look at, again, how many people have been formally described as missing persons. In our interview later on with Steyn, he said, and he encouraged families to go to the police station and file a missing persons complaint so that this can help the teams on the ground ensure that they know who they are looking for and where they need to be looking at ultimately. And that is why we see these statistics, the numbers changing now, and it will change as the week progresses. Many Ladysmith residents who have been living in the area for a long time said this is one of the most deadly disasters they've seen in recent years. They also said it took them by surprise because, as we've been saying, because many residents have been saying, the Bellspruit stream is that it was just a stream. They never expected it to burst its banks in the way that it did, ultimately seeing the Klip River overflow and the Tugela River overflow as well. So it is going to be a long week next week for the search teams. We've been telling you the stories about the families who are missing their loved ones, but it's also not easy for the search personnel as well, many of whom are volunteers. They've come here voluntarily to help as well. And we have been speaking to one IPSS search and rescue member, Teresa van den Berg, who has told us about the search so far. Take a listen.
I must be honest, it has been a difficult one, and I think what made it so difficult is because so many people was washed away and so many people were missing, and in a small town, short period, small town. I think that's what makes it so much more worse as well, and also because of the conditions we've had on the grounds. It hasn't been easy, but like I say, successfully recovered as many as possible so far, but we will continue.
Karinda, if I may, maybe if you could just paint a picture for us of what this area is like. And you've been speaking about the stream. We know it's a caravan park, but what sort of an area is it where the people were living, and what sort of conditions were they living in?
Certainly, the Ladysmith town area, it's quite a small town, and it's settled alongside the Klip River, which is quite a major river that ultimately flows into the bigger Tugela River that flows down to the ocean. Now, the Bellspruit River is very close to the N11, so for those who are familiar with KZN, it's ultimately taking you to Newcastle along through Ladysmith. You've got to take that main highway, essentially. And the caravan park area, it used to be that a place for caravans to settle down, but now it was used for homes. So homes essentially that was used for tenants, and these structures, it wasn't as strong that was set up around that area. So it was low-cost housing that was around that caravan park area, and it was right next to the stream. But residents said that it wasn't necessarily, they were never necessarily worried about their homes being washed away because it was a small stream, that Bellspruit stream that went under a small bridge over which a train was. But part of that bridge has been damaged as well because the road has been damaged too following that major flood. One resident believes that it might be the dam that has burst, but no authority has confirmed that as yet as well. It is believed that it was due to the torrential rain that caused this flood. This small town has, though, truly come together because in most of the interviews we've done, many people from the families right up to the police authorities have said that they've seen community members come together and join the search and assist in terms of providing food for the families, for the search teams, as well as to even help with rescuing some of the animals. The Anti-Animal Cruelty League in Ladysmith rescued over 40 animals as well that they're now taking care of and assisting. Only one dog passed away that was owned by someone in the town. So it has been a major rescue and recovery effort, but also going beyond that, many people have said that there needs to be better infrastructure as we see more of these disasters occurring. We do expect more government officials to visit the area. I understand that tomorrow it might be that the KZN Premier will go to the area. That's some of the information we've received. And on Sunday, there's expected to be a mass prayer for the community as well. So certainly a community coming together, but they are seeing these floods more regularly. The mayor said that they need to have a helicopter, so that's perhaps maybe a request to the district municipality to up their disaster management services because of the continuous severe weather.
Karinda, thank you very much for keeping us up to speed with the latest. That is Karinda Jagmohan, just keeping us up to speed with the latest as far as the search and recovery of those who were affected by the flood.